Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I think I'm actually officially live now, so there's always kind of a little bit of a delay when I'm not sure whether I'm really truly live or not. So I think I am on. If you're watching right at this moment, you are most likely watching the replay. So please say hello in the comments and let me know that you're here watching the replay. And let me know what is like the number one thing that you focus on when you are getting your house ready or when you're thinking about cleaning your house for having company over. I would like to challenge everyone to have I think of it as my baseline for house cleaning. This is where I want my house to stay. And then when I have time and energy, I can do extra, but the baseline is what I'm always shooting for. And as long as it's there, then I'm comfortable with people coming to my house. But there are a couple things that I tend to focus on more heavily when I know that people are coming. So I'm curious what that might be for you. So drop that in the comments if you're watching the replay. If you're watching live, I still want to hear as well. I just don't see anybody on at the moment. So if there is someone on, I'm sorry, it's not telling me. But I would love to hear what's the most important thing to you to focus on as you are cleaning your house with the idea of having people come over. I don't have anything formal planned to talk about today. I just wanted to mostly remind everybody that no one realistically has a Pinterest perfect house when they are actively living in it. Especially if you have children, then you know it doesn't matter how much or how often you clean and tidy and put things away, it's not going to stay that way for long. And don't think it's I don't think it's meant to. I believe that homes are meant to be lived in. Clean, yes, tidy when possible, but life is going on. Life is always happening. I saw someone post one time somewhere saying that the reason we clean up messes is to get ready for the next adventure that's going to take place there. So when we clean up the dishes from one meal, it's to prepare for the next amazing meal that's going to be there. And amazing doesn't necessarily mean fancy food. It just means time together, life happening together. So that's what a home is. There's always life going on. Things are always happening. It's not meant, I would propose the idea that our homes are not meant to ever fully reach a state of perfect anything. Because there's always stuff going on, and that's okay. So if you feel the pressure and the stress to have a perfect home, just be very intentional about letting that go, because that's not life, and that's okay. It's not supposed to be. The comparison game is easy to play when you see people posting on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook and this, that, and the other, all their beautiful photos of their beautiful homes. But homes can be beautiful even while they're not perfect. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. Give yourself some grace too. There are going to be days when you just don't have the energy, or where there are other things going on, especially if you have kids. There are going to be days when you can't keep up with things the way you would like to. And you may not hit your baseline that you decide of where your house should be. And that's okay. Give yourself grace on those days and catch up the next day. It'll be fine. Again, life is happening. Life goes on. And it's going to be all right. If your children need your attention right now, today, the laundry can wait till tomorrow. It doesn't have to be. It's not a life and death situation if your laundry is not done today. So keep that in mind as well, and give yourself grace there. I also want to say the flip side is, don't make excuses. Don't use giving yourself grace as an excuse not to do what needs to be done, not to see to your responsibilities. Yes, there is definitely a time to give grace, but if you are making excuses because you just don't feel like doing it, that would fall more on the side of laziness, which is not something that I encourage in myself or anyone else. So, hey, Tiffany, thanks for jumping on. We're just talking about cleanliness and cleaning your house, and I'm encouraging everyone to give themselves grace, but not to make excuses for themselves either. So we need to find that balance of seeing to our responsibilities and taking care of our homes and maintaining them, and taking responsibility for it, but also remembering that we are human, our children are human, our families are human, and we are all constantly living life. So we're never going to reach a state of just everything's perfect and it's just going to stay that way. It doesn't happen, and that's okay. That's not supposed to. Homes are supposed to be comfortable, safe, lived in, welcoming, clean. Yes, perfect. No. It is very easy to get lazy. Ask me how I know. And, I think there are times to give yourself grace there too. Maybe grace isn't the right word, but don't get to where you feel so guilty because you were lazy that you just wallow in that. You just get up and go and do, do what needs to be done. Acknowledge that you were being lazy. Okay, it happens. It's life. Now I'm going to change and do what needs to be done. So it's okay. Life goes on. Either way, life goes on. So, just take responsibility for what needs to be done and take care of it. But don't ever feel like the fact that, yeah, at least not for more than one day. There are times to rest, and that's not laziness. So if you do actually need to rest, then that's fine. Rest and let the rest of the things go. Your health is more important. Your family and your relationships with the people around you are more important. So, but yeah, don't let giving yourself grace be an excuse for letting yourself off the hook for things that actually do need to be done. And don't ever let your less than perfect home be a reason to not show hospitality to somebody, because nobody's home is perfect. And so that's how I can talk to you about your less than perfect home, because my home is less than perfect. Everyone's homes are less than perfect, and that's okay. Life is happening. So, don't ever let the fact that your house is not perfect be a reason to neglect to show hospitality to somebody. So that's why I was saying you need to find that baseline, know where you're comfortable with your home being clean but not perfect. Find what works for you, and it's going to look different for everybody. We each have our own things. So yeah, I've been guilty of that too. So find that baseline, know what you're looking for, and maintain your home there as much as you can, and then let the rest of it go when you need to, and you'll be comfortable in your home. You'll be ready to welcome people in. And something that I challenged myself to before I even ever got married and had my own home to take care of I decided that I was never going to apologize to someone for the state of my house. I have not entirely kept that promise to myself, but I have tried, and I focus instead on showing love and care and welcoming people in. So even if there's a pile of laundry sitting on the sofa when someone shows up at my house, life is happening. Who doesn't have laundry waiting to be folded at one time or another? So it's okay. And if they're not comfortable with it, then they don't have to come back. So, be comfortable in your home. Don't let it stress you out if it is not perfect. And also, don't let it keep you from welcoming others and making others comfortable in your home, too. And I know I always feel awkward when I go to somebody's house and to me, it does look perfect. And they're apologizing because it's not clean. I'm sorry. Does that mean I should never invite you to my house? So that's why I try not to do that to other people. And you're right, Tiffany. We don't feel, if we walk into somebody else's house, as long as they're not, like from an episode of Hoarders, which I've never encountered that, we don't feel uncomfortable or unwelcome or out of sorts just because their house is less than perfect. Because we know that everybody's houses are less than perfect. We just get self-conscious about ours. And we shouldn't. Hospitality is more important than having a perfect home. And that includes hospitality, showing hospitality to people that live there too. So for yourself, your husband, your children, anyone else who might be staying with you, extend that hospitality to them as well. The kids' room is not always going to be perfect. It's probably not ever going to be perfect at any point in time, and they're living there. That's where their life is happening. So anyways, that was what I wanted to really emphasize today, and to just remind us all that nobody expects perfection, and we shouldn't expect it of ourselves. And we should focus more on welcoming people in to our lives rather than waiting until we have everything exactly perfect. So yeah, I hope that was helpful and encouraging and made sense. And always remember that I'm speaking to myself first. These are things that I have to remind myself of and work on for myself. So I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody else. I usually just figure this is something I'm thinking about, something I'm working on. So chances are there's probably somebody else out there who is thinking through the same things. So that's where I'm coming from with this. So anyways, if you have any thoughts or ideas to add, feel free to put those below. If you have thought about it before, maybe drop in the comments what your baseline is for where you want your home to be at like all times, or where you try to maintain it. If you haven't thought about it before, think about it now. What is my minimum expectation for maintaining my home? And then, just mull that over a little bit and see what you come up with. All right, I am going to go. I'm getting ready to go live on my personal page in just a little while because my launch kit came in for the new Sipology catalog. So I'm going to go show that over on my personal page in a few minutes. So check that out if you're interested in the new teas and matchas and other goodies that have just released today. I hope you all have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you later.